Hello and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to be making marijuana butter that we're going to be using in cookies. Most people use brownies. We're doing cookies. This particular package calls for 1 stick of butter and 1 egg. We're going to not use regular butter and use special butter. Let me show you what we're going to need. So far we've got 2 sticks of butter that's already pre-melted for us. Approximately 1/8 of really good stuff. And this is the kind of butter that we're going to be using. Anytime your recipe, whatever your recipe calls for, you want to actually add extra to it because it's going to burn off. Okay, keep that in mind. You'll need a strainer. You'll need a second pan to strain the butter into. First thing you want to do is go ahead and get your butter going, real low fire, just to get it nice and melted. When it's all melted, give it a quick stir. Then you're going to add your main ingredient, cannabis. Most people will take it and grind it up and make sure it's completely dried and cured. I liked it a little bit wet. I also use the stems and everything else in it. A little fact that most people don't know is the THC is actually in the stems until it's completely cured. So if you actually throw the stems in there too, you'll get more THC content. What you're going to do is you're going to put your wheat in there. Stir it up. Can you get a close shot on this? You'll let it at a really low simmer, a very low boil if you will, for about 45 minutes. I'm going to keep stirring it, keep track of it, make sure it doesn't overdo it. I'm going to be making 2 batches of cookies, so that's 2 sticks of butter which I've got in there, so I'm also going to add a 3rd stick. Because like I said, part of it's going to burn off. And then later on, once you get ready to actually make the cookies, at that point, you will actually just use what the recipe calls for. Don't put extra butter in there. Okay, cut it. Okay, so now we have let the butter simmer for about 45 minutes. Okay, so now you got a very green butter. Empty here, and we've got our strainer. What we're going to do is slowly, because you don't want to make a big mess, dump it inside this other pan. It's very important that you use another pan, and I'll explain to you why. If you take something like an empty butter dish or something along those lines, anything plastic, and try to pour this hot shit into it, you're going to melt a big hole in it. One, creating an enormous mess that you're high and don't want to clean up, and you ruin butter because you can't use it because it's on the floor. You basically just threw away and ate the wheat. Not a good thing. A little closer. What we're doing here is we're going to take this here, we're going to use a spoon, kind of mash it down, get every little bit out of there that we can. We'll take this spoon and it's okay, Mom's not looking, so smash it down really good, get everything out of there. Important thing you want to remember too is once you have all this out of here and you're nice and strained, got everything out of your marijuana here, this is not something you want to smoke. This is discarded. The THC is gone out of it, so it's useless anyway, and I don't recommend smoking this. Basically it'd be smoking butter, which is animal fat, and well, nobody wants that. Okay, take that there. Just to make sure none of the stoners in the house try to actually smoke this, we'll go ahead and get rid of it. Take this. Okay, now, you have your butter. This is 3 sticks, which is probably boiled down to about 2.5. Now we're going to take this here. If you have room in your freezer, set it in there. If you don't, like me, put it in the refrigerator. Give it about 30-45 minutes. You don't want it frozen. Make sure it's nice and solid. Once it's nice and solid, go ahead and add it to your cookie mix, your brownie mix. Put it on your vegetables. You can use it for anything. I'm just going to particularly like cookies. Also remember too, once you start eating the cookies and you're high, quit eating the cookies or you'll be a coma. Thanks for joining us today.